You wake up, drive 30 minutes to work as an employee at your 9 to 5, which you hate, and all you can think about at work is providing for your family, starting your business, moving it forward, changing the world, and in the process, living the life of freedom and fulfillment you've always imagined. This podcast helps you transition from employee to entrepreneur. My name is Bradley G. Smith, and welcome to the Keymaker Nation podcast. What's up, Keymakers? My fellow solopreneurs and entrepreneurs and employees who are transitioning to solo or entrepreneurs. I have got some thoughts to share with you today. I'm on my way home, and so I just wanted to talk about what I'm currently working on, and also talk about your content distribution strategy, especially if you're on a budget. And then if you've got a little bit of a budget to play with, I want to talk about that as well. So what I'm currently working on is related to my content distribution strategy, and so I wanted to share that specifically. Okay, so content distribution, I'm happy to say I've gone all the way through the Marketing Secrets podcast with Russell Brunson. I was having a hard time thinking about it because the name for it, because the name for it changed a couple times. But I went through almost 6 years of podcasts, and the beauty of that Russell Brunson podcast and Marketing Secrets, the beauty of going through 6 years is that you're able to see trends in sort of what he was talking about in terms of how you should do marketing, what should be your first steps and your strategies, and how you should do it from the ground up, and really how to move from point A to point B in your journey as a young business and entrepreneur. So I was able to see that, and then I was also able to see how specifically he changed sort of his ideas a couple of different times, and I'm thinking specifically one of them was related to content distribution. And as he was going through it, he sort of was talking about his lack of faith in search engine optimization, and more specifically in how to get your voice out there with social. And he came around for both of those, and he has a blogging platform now, and that's I think blog.clickfunnels.com. And then he also has a really strong social media game. So the content distribution strategy, if you're on a budget, is, as far as I can tell, it's YouTube. Okay, and stick with me on this because I'm going to explain it I'm going to try to explain it all, right? So you're a small business, or you're already a business operating, and you're trying to grow your audience. And the specifics of this is so that you can grow your audience. Yeah, the end goal is to get more customers, but if you're starting out, you're an employee trying to transition to an entrepreneur, or you're already a solopreneur / entrepreneur, and you're still trying to get your footing, you need an audience, right? And your audience will do a lot of things for you. One of which is referrals for you. They'll talk you up to your potential clients, and they'll also brag about you. So if you're sharing really good content with them, they'll brag about you, and that's how your audience will grow. And if you're doing it right, you'll be able to grow your audience so that eventually they'll land on your Facebook page, and with Facebook Messenger bots, you can then add them to your marketing funnel. And so I wanted to talk about that strategy overall here. So the strategy at a very high level is YouTube. If you're on a complete budget, you have, let's say you need it to be almost all free. In other words, you're not paying for paid ads or anything like that. The strategy is YouTube for a couple reasons. You'll want to get the SEO benefits and the benefits that Google will give you for having a video in the same space as everyone else in terms of keywords searched for. And I'm having to go through traffic here, and it's sort of distracting me. Traffic's a little heavy right now. So, but you'll want to go through YouTube because of the benefits that Google will provide to you because you're using their platform. You'll get SEO benefits. They know all the content of your video because every time you upload a video, it's transcribed. So they know what's in it, and they will show it not only in YouTube search, but they will also show it in Google search. So you get a benefit there, especially if you're on a really tight budget. YouTube makes the most sense. Now, there's also amplification. So you want to amplify once you've put a video on YouTube and you're sort of working on your message, and you're sort of starting to get your message, then you want to start amplifying it, right? And some people will just stick to blogs, and there's nothing wrong with blogs. You'll get the SEO benefit, but I'm talking about blogs plus your messaging and all of the benefits of SEO that you get with SEO. So once you have a YouTube video up and you're ready to start amplifying your message, then you want to post it on Facebook. Now, some people will just go straight to Facebook Live, then they'll take the video, they'll put it on YouTube, and then they'll do things like transcription services for their YouTube video, and then they'll paste that on a blog, right? But if you don't have the money to do transcription services, there's ways that you can do it for free. It's just going to take more time. One way that I saw people do the transcription for free was through Google Docs. Basically, Google Docs has a voice listening app, so you can talk into Google Docs and it will transcribe what you have right into a Google Drive doc. So what some people do is they will put the headphones on from the video that they've created or the audio that they've created. Let's say you're doing a podcast or something like that. And then they'll read it out loud as they hear it in their ear. They'll read it out loud and it'll get uploaded straight to Google Drive, and then you'll have a transcription that you've done yourself. But if you want, you can also take your video or audio and just send it through a transcription service. And I think the cheapest one I saw so far, there might be some open source ones out there, I haven't seen them yet, but the cheapest one I saw so far was like 45 cents per minute. So that's pretty cheap, that's fairly affordable. And if you don't want to spend the time to transcribe it yourself, which depending on how fast you type may or may not be a good thing, and depending on how long your video is, may or may not be a good thing. But the reason, okay, I'm getting back to the reason why YouTube, right? So YouTube is important because it's the starting point. If you do a YouTube video, then you also have audio. So you can take the audio out of the video, and you can do this with a program like Camtasia. So you take the video, you put it into Camtasia, you separate the tracks. Now you have audio, so you can now start a podcast with the video that you recorded. Now, some people would just, like I said, post it straight to Facebook Live, and then they would still have the video. They take the video, and then they also create a YouTube video out of it, and then you also have the audio. You take your audio and you create a podcast out of it. So from once you have the audio, whether it's just a recording with your voice, or whether it's a video. Now, I recommend video because you can do YouTube, but once you have the audio, you can take that to a transcription service. Then you could take the content from the transcription service and put it on a blog and link to your YouTube video. So at this point, if you've done it correctly, you can link from almost every platform to your YouTube video. And the ultimate goal, though, is to get people over. I know this is crazy, I'm talking sort of in circles here, but the ultimate goal is to get people over to Facebook or an opt-in page that's on your website. And I would say if you could do it on Facebook, that would be most ideal, because if you can get someone over to Facebook with your video, that would be most ideal, because from there you can use messenger bots to get them on your actual mailing lists. So that's my strategy, and I talked about the budget version of that strategy, which the budget version of that strategy is create a YouTube video. I'm gonna have to reiterate that because I'm not sure I said it clearly enough. Create a YouTube video. From the YouTube video, you separate the audio out. So now you have a soundtrack, or you have the audio track for your video. You could put the video on YouTube. You can take the audio track, put it on iTunes, and then you can take the audio and transcribe it yourself. This is the budget version. Transcribe it yourself into Google Docs. Take the generated document and put that on a blog post. And now you have a link, or you have a video on YouTube. You have a podcast version on iTunes. You can link to it from Facebook. You can link to it from Twitter. And of course, Snapchat or whatever else you want to, or Instagram, whatever else you want to do there. So that's my recommendation: video, and that's the budget version. The working with a that's the very limited budget version. The working with a decent budget version is Facebook Live. Get the video, put it on YouTube. And I would highly recommend pushing or boosting your Facebook Live post with $5. So every time you do a Facebook Live post, you just boost it for $5. And eventually, after 20, 30 of those, 1 or 2 of them is going to catch on, and it's going to get shared. And you just keep doing this, keep doing this, keep doing this, and you get your audience to grow that way. But you still have the video and the audio. You still create a YouTube video out of it, and you still create a podcast, an iTunes podcast out of it. And if you're using WordPress, you create a blog post out of it. And the nice thing about WordPress is it has a plugin. I think it's called Blueberry Podcast plugin. And from there you can post it on like 4 or 5 major podcasting platforms if you've gotten the audio version of your video. So that's my content distribution strategy with a limited budget and with a decent budget. But I would say that if you have the time, make unique content for every single platform. But if you don't have the time, and this podcast focuses on the transition from employee to entrepreneur, and I would say a lot of people fall in this boat. If you don't have the time, create your YouTube video and then get all of the other content that you need and the links that you need to boost your profile. The end game, if you put the content on YouTube, is to get people over to Facebook. And once you've got your users over to Facebook, specifically, the best place would be a private Facebook group. But get them into a Facebook group, and then get a messenger chat bot to get them on your main list. On your main list that you would be able, your main email list. At that point, you own the traffic, and you can continue to market to the traffic at any point in the future. So that's it. That's my podcast for today. If anything's unclear, I'm sorry. Leave comments. I'll try to clear it up. But that's my strategy, and that's after listening to lots of different material, the way that people are doing their strategies in terms of content distribution. But I'm at the pizza shop. I'm gonna pick up some pizza for the fam, and I'll catch you guys in the next episode. All right, guys, talk to you soon. Hey guys, don't forget to join me in the Keymaker Nation private Facebook group. If you're listening to the podcast via iTunes, please rate and review. And if you're listening via YouTube, don't forget to thumbs up and subscribe. And as always, thanks for listening.